from Volvo Group. Hillevi, Pihlblad, Rafidashti, welcome on stage. Hello, Hillevi. Welcome to this morning with us here.
Thanks for having me.
So I have a bunch of questions for you, but I will start with the most important one. What is it that you're doing at Volvo Group?
Well, this digital transformation is both in the industry and the company. We see a lot of opportunities, fantastic opportunities at Volvo Group. And our CEO, Martin Lundstedt, has been talking for a while about finding the balance, about perform and transform. Performing in our traditional business, but also accelerating, the speed towards our transformation, these fantastic new market dynamics we are seeing, all the new technology, and digitalization at the center of that. So, but we're also aware that direction and vision cannot stay at the top. And it is when we involve the whole company, all the employees in the company, that we really get that change going. So our transformation is very centered around people, our people, and really giving our employees the prerequisites and to get that change going.
And what is your role in this change?
Well, I work for Group Strategy, as you said, and for us, what we think is really important is once again the involvement, but also really making sure that change is implemented. So we work very much with middle management, and we use different kind of involvement techniques. For example, it could be a workshop in just getting out the new thoughts and ideas and taking the temperature. We use business simulations, for example, to really get them to have a feel of what the new strategy is all about. And we, really focusing on cross-functionality to get people to really work in many functions and in the whole value chain. That's important for us. Another example is that we support important key strategic programs like Designed Around Me. That is a program that basically focuses on the everyday life of an employee. And it's a collaboration between Group IT, Group HR, Communications, based very much on an intelligent digital workplace. And for us, that's the rolling out of Microsoft 365. So, really giving people not just the technologies and the prerequisites for change, but involving them once again.
So why are people so important in your strategy?
We have a saying at Group Strategy that is, people hate change. People really hate change. People really, really hate change. Yeah, but when you think about that quote, it really isn't true. I think the smartphone that every one of us have today is a good example of that. We actually embrace change, when we know what it can do for us. So I think what people do not like is not being involved in creating that change and creating that momentum that you need to accelerate transformation. So I think that's why people are really the center of our transformation, to really get that creativity going. Where are the new ideas? That's what innovation is really about not just the technologies and the prerequisites, but you have to get that buzz going in the organization. Yeah.
So get the buzz going and get everybody on board.
Yeah.
What are you learning so far?
I think two things stand out for us. The one is, I think as an organization, we at Volvo Group, we really get that what got us here, now, what has made us successful, will not just that, make us successful going ahead. I think we get that now. What is really starting to hit us now is the pace of that change and the realization that we really have to find new ways to create that momentum and that acceleration that we're talking about. Yeah, and that means, of course, working more together and things like that. The other point is actually a painful lesson, I think, for an organization like ours, a very proud and passionate organization. And we've always been very innovative, really. And that lesson is that we can't do everything alone. It's a tough lesson for us, and it's actually both a lesson internally, as in working together cross-functionally and across the value chain and in several functions, and but even externally, making more partners and collaborating more and becoming a better partner ourselves. So it's really a trust journey. I think it's an incredible trust journey that we have embarked, both internally and externally. So exciting times.
Exciting times. And you mentioned partnerships, how important they are.
Yes.
And I know that Microsoft and Volvo Group do have a collaboration.
Oh, for a long time.
So how would you describe that?
Well, Microsoft for us today is both a strategic partner and an operative partner. So we're in the nitty-gritties together, but we're also growing as strategic partners. We work very much side by side as if we were, colleagues in the same company and in many projects. And for example, last year, a few of my colleagues that are here today, we went to Redmond, to your headquarters in November last year, because we realized that this is a journey that we're on together, the transformative journey, and perhaps Microsoft has, of course, come a bit further in their journey. So we wanted to learn from Microsoft. It was a group led by Sue Bevington from Microsoft, really about the journey, about the pillars of that transformation, about the challenges, about the real challenges, and what did you do when that happened, and what did you do when that happened. And we kept the technologies out of the way. We really talked about the change transformation and the journey that Microsoft had. So that was really interesting. Mm-hmm.
Cool. So I think that a lot of people here who have listened to you are very inspired now, myself included. Do you have a piece of advice that you could share with people who want to do something similar?
Yeah, well, I would go back to the beginning about involving people in the co-creation in order to really create that creativity that is needed. Back to the message of, it's great with direction, and it's good, to take to really understand the direction and the vision of the leadership, but to really find those ways to implement change and involvement in the organization, and to include really everyone in the organization, whether it's a factory worker or a white-collar worker or somebody who's serving the customer, to find ways to include people in the organization is what I would leave.
That's a great piece of advice. So including everybody, helping people to go from hating change to loving change. That is will be the closing remark. So thank you so much for coming here.
Thanks so
and
much,
a big
Hillevi.
round of applause for Hillevi.